I strongly disagree with this perspective. I love the fact that things are simple in the Google ecosystem because it means that I don't ever have to get under the hood and worry about installing apps or running updates or the potential of an update failing and causing me to be unproductive when I'm trying to get my work done. My advice for serious Windows and Linux users, don't bother. It starts with being unable to share Office documents with non-Chrome users without a lot of really annoying converting and messing around, and it ends with there being no way on earth to replace serious Windows apps. The interesting thing is, if you are a serious Windows or Linux user, I would say that probably puts you in geek category. And if you're in geek category, I think you've got to ask yourself the question, what am I using my computer for? If I'm using this purely as a business machine, then myself being a geek myself, I want to focus on business when I'm working on my devices. And I don't want to actually be distracted by tinkering around with the operating system or having the management of apps distracting me from just getting my work done. And so for me, I love the idea of the Chrome operating system being very simple, being deeply integrated with Google, because it means that I can just get my work done without distractions. Because Google also self-updates, doesn't require any maintenance, doesn't require any spam or malware or any other like additional application or security programs to make sure that the operating system is clean and running smoothly and well protected. It means that there are just no distractions for me getting my work done. So I strongly disagree with this perspective. I love the fact that things are simple in the Google ecosystem because it means that I don't ever have to get under the hood and worry about installing apps or running updates or the potential of an update failing and causing me to be unproductive when I'm trying to get my work done. Now, the other interesting thing is this person has mentioned the sharing of Office documents. And sharing Office documents is actually not that difficult. When you're using something like Google Drive, you can actually share and keep a document in a Microsoft format if you want to. The challenge is, yes, if you want to work on a Google Doc and then actually convert it back to a Microsoft document just to send it to someone, that's going to get a little bit messy because your workflow is probably going to look like working on the document in Google Docs, which is nice and collaborative and easy to use and automatically saving and works across all your devices and is super simple and works great when you're working with the team. And then if you want to send it to someone, you convert it to Microsoft, you email it to them, they work on the document, and then they send you back a document with changes. Now, all of a sudden, you've got to try and merge those changes back to your Google Doc. Or worse, you've got to try and create a new version and bin the old one. But what if you've made changes at the same time? And so this isn't really a problem with how Google has their file system set up or how the sharing feature works. Those sharing features are pretty straightforward. The problem is the ecosystem. If you are working with someone outside your business and they want to use Microsoft format documents, well, you're going to start to run into trouble because you can have track changes going back and forward and emailing documents back and forward. But in my honest opinion, that is a dumb way of working. When you can work with someone on a Google Doc and have a document updated live with the same version for everyone at all times, with a full revision history of every single change that's been made, with the power of all of Google's AI tools added into your documents, which in my opinion, far outstrip anything that Microsoft has going for them right now, I think you are dumb to send Microsoft documents out on email, wait for someone to make changes and send them back to you. And let me tell you, I have let go of accountants and I've let go of lawyers who refuse to use Google Documents for working with us because the email back and forward was basically time that I was paying for someone to be inefficient. So if you're in a situation where you think or you have the perception that you need to use Microsoft Documents because that's how your clients do things, I think you should pick up the phone and have a chat to them and say, hey, give this format a go. This is how we work internally. We think this is a good idea because let me tell you, it is a much better way of working. To be able to jump on a Google Meet or a phone call and say to your customer or your partner or your colleague or your client or whoever it happens to be, okay, just look at cell D4. Yep, okay, cool. I'm just going to change that formula to this. Is a very, very different way of working. And let me tell you, if you want to attract good talent to your business, if you're a business owner or you're a business leader and you want to employ millennials, if you think they're going to email Microsoft Documents back and forward when they've got a Gmail account at home and they just spent 5 years at university working with Google Documents and in the Google ecosystem, then you're going to look like the idiot. And that person is more likely to leave your business and go elsewhere to another business that is going to harness the best in-class tools that are available on the market today. Now, Microsoft has done a lot of catch-up work over the years. Dropbox works pretty good now with multiple people working on documents. They've got their own document format that they've brought out. Collaboration and synchronization using things like SharePoint and Microsoft Teams is getting a hell of a lot better. The Microsoft Online documents are okay. They're not amazing, but they're okay. So there are other options that are there. If you're a person who is still like emailing documents back and forward, it's 2023. Yeah, it's just time to get with the program. So There is one more part of this question that I do want to cover because I've got a little bit ranty and I want to make sure that I actually cover all the bits of the question. It ends with there being no way on earth to replace serious Windows apps. Now, I've done a number of videos on this, on how to access Windows apps from your Chrome device. You can use the Android versions if you want. You can use a remote desktop application if you want. This person is correct. There is no way to download the Windows version of Photoshop and install it on your Chromebook. That just doesn't work. So there are lots of options, but it doesn't work exactly the same as how you may expect it to work. After working with 5,000 odd small business owners over more than a decade now, I can tell you that most businesses are moving away from the old school install an app on your Windows computer and run things on a local database. And most people are moving to either browser-based or cloud-based apps. Most industries have made that shift now. Even tools like Canva are doing video editing in the cloud in the browser, which is pretty darn amazing. And so it's really time to kind of move with the times. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go with the Chrome operating system. There are certainly challenges and there are certainly use cases where it may not be the best fit. No, I don't think it's the solution for every business and every person. However, what I would say is that if you are a business and you have multiple staff members, I would be looking for the scenarios or the user profiles that make sense to switch to the Chrome operating system. Because if you're using Google Workspace, it is a brilliantly integrated system. It is deeply, deeply secure, and it just removes the distractions from your team between them just getting their work done. And that's the most important thing for not just your team, but for you as well if you're a leader or business owner. If you like this content, please hit subscribe and hit the bell notification so you can be notified when we go live or drop new content on the channel. Now, if you'd like to connect with us, hit us up on social media or join our free community group. All the links to that are right below this video. If you'd like to learn more about Google Workspace and the technology ecosystem, you can join our free Genius Academy by transferring your billing across to itGenius. Or you can join a Workspace Basics Bootcamp. Now, if you're a business owner and you're interested in an audit on your technology stack or your Workspace account, or you're looking to do a project in the tech world, well, you can take advantage of our free consultation. And if you need help right now, then consider joining Concierge or taking up a quick fix with our team for professional support for your tech stack.